You know, if like one is really tight, you know, one's really tightened up and the other one's super loose, then it gets kind of like, you know, gets like lopsided. And now we have sewn all 5 sides. I've gathered on the first 4 sides. So now we're on this last side. So at this point you might be kind of stuck. You might be thinking, well, normally in this last hole what you do is, you know, you do the hexagon, you know, stitch to the next side. Well, you're on the last side, so there's nowhere to go. So this is where that double knot, remember at the beginning when you first cut the thread, that double knot becomes important. So what you do is, instead of doing another hexagon stitch here, what you do is you stick the needle through this double knot. It's easy if you can get it between the 2 knots. So you just stick it through there, and then just kind of let's see. Okay, so now it's through the double knot. So at this point, now that it's through the double knot, you want to gather on the last side and basically make any final adjustments to the gather on the other 4 sides. Because at this point, this is where you're going to tie the knot, and once you tie the knot, it's pretty much, you know, whatever the tension is in your stitching is pretty much set. You can't like go back and change it. So we're going to gather on the last side, so pull it all the way tight like that, and then just kind of, you know, stretch it out. Let's see. I like to get real OCD with the gather. Okay, that's good. So there we go. Okay. Yeah, that seems good. So now that we got the gather set on all sides, what you want to do is you want to tie a knot, slip knot, and you want the knot to be as close to the double knot as possible. So what I do is I use a long needle like this. So you can see this. You can use anything though. You don't need a needle. You can use tweezers or whatever. And let's see if you can see it. So there's the knot, and just kind of pull it down. Pull it down so it's right next to the double knot. And then slide the needle out. And then pull tight. So now what you see is, can I get a good angle? Right there. So you can see the knot. So what happens is when you stretch out the material, that knot acts as a stopper. You know, it gets stuck between the double knot. See? You see the knot getting stuck in the double knot? And that's as far as it can stretch now. So it kind of like seals the, I guess it seals the gather in the pentagon, in the whole pentagon. So just kind of, you know, adjust the gather so it's even throughout. At this point, you can cut the thread. And we flip it over. There you go. There's your first pentagon. So you have 1 down, 11 more to go. Basically. So so how would you do the next one? It's pretty simple. What you do is, so what you can do is you can sort of line it up. So So let's say you wanted to start here. You got your two sides here, so you can sort of imagine the pentagon would go right there. And then you still got these three sides, so you'd put three more triangles on each, or hexagons on each side. So anyway, yeah, so you would start exactly the same way as you did the first one. You just line them up. The first stitch is a hexagon, hexagon. You would stitch through that, this top hole, then flip it over. Then you would take this, your pentagon, line it up with the dots, and then just keep going this way. And then when you finish that side, you'd go through this. You make a hexagon, hexagon stitch here. You would pull tight, do the gather on the first hexagon, and then just sort of continue, and yeah. And then when you get to that last side, when you get back to that original knot, you just stick it through the double knot, pull tight for gather, adjust the gather on all the sides till you have it just the way you like. Make the slip knot, pull tight, move the knot down to the double knot, and then just pull it tight, cut the string, and then make your final adjustments, and that's it. And that's how you do every single pentagon, all 12. The only difference is with the very last one, and not even the whole last pentagon. It's literally just the last side of the 12th pentagon that you sew on. That one you have to do a little bit differently, because you have to flip it inside out, because you're stitching the bags sort of like this. Like this is how on this one you're stitching it inside out. So on the very last side, you're eventually going to have to flip it inside out, and then put your filler in, and then finish it up. That's pretty much how to do it. I'll just show you how to do the last side. I'll probably show you with this one, since I'm already halfway done with this. Okay, so I went ahead and finished this one, and as you can see, I've got everything done except for that last pentagon. So you guys can kind of get a feel for what it looks like. This is it right here. You can kind of see it. Okay. So the last one, again, it's pretty much the same as the other ones. The only thing that's different is the last side. Oh, and also one other thing. So when you're taking your thread for the last side, you want to make sure it's extra long. So whatever you're using for here, whatever length thread you cut out, you want to probably double. If you want to be extra safe, maybe triple that length, because the last stitch you're going to be doing what's called a blind stitch, and you're going to need a lot of extra thread for that. Alright, so now sewn up the last pentagon. It's this one right here. So if you can see, it's kind of hard to see, but the first four sides, if you can see them, there, and they're exactly the same as you'd normally do. It's this side that's different, the side where you have to blind stitch. So if you can tell, what I did was I sewed it just as you normally would. I just didn't tighten them like I did on this side. This is the exact same thing. It's just instead of tightening them, you sort of make a loop, and you make sure it's still loose. So this is why you need all the extra thread when you're starting out, because you need all this extra thread hanging. So that's what it looks like. So once you've come out of this last one, you do kind of the same as what you did on the other side. You thread the needle through this double knot. There we go. Okay. Now pull it through. Make sure you don't get any of these. And okay. So see? So just you pull it through just like that. Now you don't knot it first. You knot it at the end. But what you have to do next is you have to turn the bag inside out. Alright, bam. Here it is.